Sean, when you go next session, will you ping me tonight?
Okay, so you want to record the next session?
I don't.
Okay. For this,
Yeah, for this
so my next
That's how I stay late. I've never. Otherwise, my mom
Then it's left to the crew chief to make the.
It's because he knows you.
After crew chief, you're the year.
They're just looking at me, I'm like,
Just like bow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Look up and
Yes.
They went like this. Foul! Vancouver. They were South Bend.
Okay.
That's where like Mead. No, Mead. What's that can there?
Yeah.
That sounds like. Oh no, you don't listen to yeah, they probably did one seat 2 years ago. And they showed this.
Yes.
That's the whole thing.
I'm sure my film next week I've not. I've been to It's fun. Actually, it's a better. I went to it's like stands are like a mile. I don't know. It was just so. It was just the atmosphere. So first time I went, I had the 1A girls. The other court was 1A boys, and it's the same team playing. So the fans from the boys court, the girls court, and it was fun.
You got some valuable nuggets out of the previous session. He does a good job. Never tell him.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell anyone else. That doesn't leave us with. How many of you are familiar with breaking down video? Like the act of doing it? Yeah, like, I know. Who wants to teach this class? Who wants their connection to stop being jammed? Okay.
He's got a computer, Brett.
Okay. Okay, for those of you who said you're familiar, what are some things you look for, or what's part of your process for breaking down video? Positioning.
IC and NCIC.
IC, okay.
Or
IC, NCIC, no call incorrect, NCIC, IC, incorrect call, CC, correct call. Or NCC.
No call.
No call, correct.
What else?
I'm watching the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes to make sure that I'm consistent with my positioning.
I like that.
I'm gonna think about the game and if there was any key plays that I want to actually review, not just going through reviewing every play.
I like that. Jason?
Whistle's coming from the right spot.
Love that. There's, I think, a couple of different tactics you can take with video breakdown. One is, okay, we're just doing like a regular breakdown. So, I'm sorry, what was your name? You said the first and the last 5? Cody. First and last 5, key plays you can add in. That's more like the general, and then you can do what I call a deep dive. And that's when you're breaking down that whole game. And Ruby's not in here. So I put Ruby through this exercise and said, okay, break this down for me. And she breaks down a quarter in like 2 minutes. I'm like, exaggerated, right? And I'm like, okay, now I want you to watch me break it down. And we probably broke down 2 minutes of the quarter in about half an hour, right? So you can really take it to a whole nother level. You don't need to do that every game, but you should do that for a regular amount of time, a couple times.
Every 2 weeks or so?
Yeah.
I'd say every month, but the season's only like 5 months.
But if you ever have a challenging game, those are great ones to do deep dives. Yes?
Sean showed me when I started doing video breakdown, it's called a screenshot. So you do one play.
I'll pause that.
Okay, never mind, get ahead of schedule.
As usual. So, some benefits of breaking down video. They improve our on-court performance, increase call accuracy, improve decision making. You get some repetition and develop play recall. Your consistency improves. You can identify your habits and tendencies, or even of teams that you're evaluating. You can improve your presentation, right? What do I look like? Am I signal sharp? Or do I just look like I'm out there? You can be proactive versus reactive. But the ultimate objective is to always give yourself the best possible chance of making the right decision. And so how you do that is through practice. It's a great way to get more reps. So we can't always be on the court. We can't work 10 games a day, every day. But I have to be in that video. And that's just as good, sometimes even better than being on the court. I can identify those habits and start to work on them. Sometimes you see things on video that you don't realize that you're doing. And so it's a great opportunity to see yourself from a different perspective. Okay? We got to get away from just doing video for call validation. We get kind of dragged into that. It's like, I just got to go see if I got that right. You can do that. We all do it. But make sure you go beyond that and actually do some steps to evaluate and kind of analyze yourself. Beyond just, oh, I got that right. Well, why did I get it right? Or I got that wrong. Why did you get it wrong?
She kind of talked about, doing the video breakdown, because I can only work so many games. They always talk about 10,000 hours to like be professional and doing something, right? Video is how we can gain that 10,000 hours without having to be on the floor for all that time, blow out our knees.
And you can watch other people and pick up some of their good habits, right? Like people, if you're watching a WNBA game or a college game, or even some of your mentors, you can watch them identify things that you like about their game and put them into your game. So what to evaluate? Someone earlier said position. Right? Position, putting ourselves in the best position, like literally, is going to give us better call accuracy. Okay? Our presentation, what do we look like out there? So our presentation speaks a lot to our credibility. If we don't look the part, we're not going to be believable. And you're going to be fighting an uphill battle. The coach is going to be on you every single call. The call can be 100% correct, but if it doesn't look confident, they're not going to believe you. Okay? And then play calling. So we can also use it to get more reps and then understand what we're looking at and improve our play calling accuracy. Okay. Martin kind of got into this. Another method of doing kind of a deep dive is to do snapshots. Okay? So you literally pull up your game, go to any part of it, take a snapshot, and then you evaluate the coverage areas based on the position. And so you're going to take the lead, identify their primary coverage area. Are they looking there? Are they not? What's their secondary coverage area? Same for center, same for trail. And that helps kind of give you some repetition as far as, okay, when I'm in the trail position and this drive is coming from my area, and I have the primary, then the lead is going to have the secondary, they're going to have that help defender that's coming over. Training your brain to start looking in the same areas, and then you'll be thinking less about where to be and where to look in your referee. We only have so much bandwidth, and where we're thinking so much, we don't have we sometimes don't referee. We're like, am I standing right? Am I looking straight? We're like, did I step in? We're able to referee better, and we have more bandwidth because we practice good habits.
Is G-Man in here?
She's ref and I
Oh,
ref.
All right. Because in the Frontier Conference, we have to do snapshots.
Yeah.
So, and there was like 4 columns, and it was like, where am I looking? Where are my partners looking? What's my secondary? And you had to do that for each position, and it took like 6 hours to do. Like, it is but you start to think about, okay, if I'm at this position and this play happens, I know what my partners are looking at, I know what I'm looking at, but you can kind of build that, just that exercise in your mind, even when you're on the floor after you've done a few. It absolutely does.
Tedious, but worth it.
Oh.
I complained so much, like, I can't believe we would get this time, you had to do, like, your first year, you had to do 4 snapshots per half. So doing this 4 different times, well, 8 different times, 4 per half. This is only that. I'm that old. But, it's like, oh my gosh, I hate my life. And then I realized it was making me better. I kind of want to do it now. So sometimes those things that seem tedious are great opportunities to learn. Learn through the pain.
Is that it?
So now, okay, I'm gonna brag on you for a second. So this guy, Nic Mitch, I don't know how many of you know him. Awesome official. He's off the court now, unfortunately. We miss him dearly. But to me, one of his best assets is his ability to break down film. So you guys are getting a treat right now to be able to learn from him. He's a tremendous evaluator. And so take this opportunity to pick up 1 or 2 things by watching what he does and listen to what he says.
Do you want to play the last one?
Yeah. And put it into your game.
This is gonna be a little tougher, because this is
These
the
people
championship, yeah. This is the championship, so it's a little bit, they kinda know what they're doing.
You might recognize 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You really want to.
Alright, so, go ahead and back up and pause it. So, yeah, just back up. Can you go 10 seconds back on this?
Just, you're on YouTube and watch.
Oh.
Left
Is it
arrow,
touch?
left arrow,
Left arrow?
left arrow.
You have hockey.
Is the screen,
There you go, you
is
did
the
it.
white?
There you go.
There you go.
Got it.
Yeah. So, remember, Sean was talking about being even with the ball handler? So, in the backcourt, we're 10 and 2, or 2 and 2. So we're 2 steps to the side, 2 steps to the back, so we're able to see everything. So you can play it. So here she's 2 and 2. Once she gets to mid-court, now you're even. Because now we want to be even with the ball handler. Now you're not going to be able to obviously stay even with them, but now she hit home base, you can pause it. When she hit home base, then she pauses, because that's where she's trying to work down to, right? She did a really good job there, because the rotation actually happened pretty quick. Back up just a little bit more. Perfect. Right at mid-court, she's even with the ball handler. Pause. See where the lead started? So, did everybody know the zones that Sean was talking about this morning? The windows 1, 2, and 3?
ABC.
Right, ABC, what?
Completely different,
ABC.
yeah.
But, so anyways, so who can tell me when the ball comes up, your third, where do you go? Good. What's your name? Molly. I'm not gonna be like Sean. So, yeah, good. Why? So, did she start out there? I think you actually started almost at close down. Well, you got it right. You got lucky. 'Cause she came up with it. So, middle or opposite third, we go straight to close down, right? It's pretty much came up the middle. So she started at close down. So this tick mark right here, that would be close down. 3 foot in, and then what is wide?
Outside.
3 foot inside the 3-point line, right? So basically here to there is our 2 starting points. Now, pinching is inside of that. We don't referee from pinching, which she stops it closed down because the ball's at the top, and then she's gonna go, right? I know this is basic, like refereeing rotation, but I'm just explaining to you that she's actually doing a good job. Okay, go ahead. Okay, stop. Go back. Alright, so, go just a little bit.
Back.
No, play. Right here. Okay, so, the ball is down in the bottom third. So, does everybody know what 2 a.m. walk versus a 2 p.m. walk is? Raise your hand. Everybody? Holy shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good job. That's a lot. So, who doesn't know? Sorry, I guess I should have gone that way. All right, so I'll explain to you. Sorry for everybody that's new. So, in Central Park at 2 a.m., we're gonna be like, well, I gotta get out of here, right? You're gonna rotate across the lane. Now at 2 p.m., you're just like, all right, well, I can just walk across and then go to my spot. And just, you know, you have two different tempos of rotating across the lane.
So we never sprint.
We never run, because then your eyes are doing this and then. So as she's refereeing, where is she refereeing as she's rotating?
Referee sweeping the key.
Somebody raise your hand, please. You talked a lot in the last one, I'm sorry. So, go ahead.
The key, so going from like block to elbow, back to the other one.
Very good. Awesome, yeah, we're doing some good
I
training.
think we go home.
Yeah. So good, so block, elbow, block, or we call it refereeing up the lane. So, no competitive matchup, competitive matchup, right? So you're working your way across the lane. Can everybody see? Sorry, I was making. So, start at this block, no competitive matchup, as you're walking across the lane. So, elbow, there's a competitive matchup. That's where I'm watching as I walk across the lane. So I think she actually looks like she starts to pick up the corner. If you look at your eyes. Go ahead and push play. Oh, no, she did a good job. So good. So she picks up the rotation, picks up her competitive matchup, and then goes as wide as the ball. Not stop at the lane line and then back out. Right. So she goes as far as the ball and then turns your shoulders to accept the play. Because until she completes her rotation, this is the center's play, right? Can you back up just a little bit? Okay. All right. So as a center, I would like you to stay there longer. I know you know that the lead is there, but she hasn't completed her rotation yet. So he starts to back out. So she's like still in the middle of the lane. He knows she's coming over, but what happens if this is actually a shot and she backs out? And now you're backing out and backing yourself out of rotation, out of rebounding. So as a center, until they complete the rotation, stay. Just referee, just turn your head. Just stay there. Let the play go. She comes across. Now the play is settled. She's accepted the play. Now I can work my way up the trail. Do you have a question?
Oh, sorry. I was stretching.
So, I've seen a lot of people do this weekend, just walking yourself almost out of the play, and we're getting ourselves out of rebounding. Go ahead. This is actually more difficult. Good officials.
Okay, just wait.
Okay.
But that makes the point is, how many plays have we actually seen?
One.
Plays have we validated?
One. Just
Right,
one.
and we're already breaking down so many things and talking about positioning, so it takes a while.
Right. So she overran it a little bit, caught herself. That's fine. We all do that.
That's a habit of mine. That's a habit that I've worked on, still working on.
So go back.
You're identifying.
Go back to the start. All right, so go back just a little bit.
Brittany, you're
So-
the C.
No, it's just a little bit. That's J-Dub. Just a real quick, once I get the rebound. One more. Okay, pause. So everybody's clearing, right? There's not gonna be any pressure. Just stay at lead, because Now what happens if 12 like comes around and steals this ball, and now you're halfway on the floor, gotta get back, you might be in the way. So wait until, I'm not gonna say it is a rule, because I know there's some camps that do. Wait till it gets to about the free throw line, and then get off the end line. Because then you can actually do that, you know, get out there and actually start running. Because like right now, she's like, okay, I'm just gonna walk, because they haven't even really started to run yet. And then you just look choppy, you look unsure, and not confident in your movements. Sorry, Britt. No,
I love it.
so if she would've just waited, she could've just, she takes that first pass and she could've just jogged right behind her, caught up to her at midcourt. Okay, good pause right there, yeah. All right, so this is kind of, I don't know if they're teaching this too much anymore, but I've been trying to get undershooters, and we were teaching that for a really long time, is trying to get undershooters because you want to be able to see in between the
Do you know what,
defense.
does everybody know what he means when we're talking about getting under the shooter?
Does anybody know?
Position adjust, yeah.
I know.
Well, a couple people. Yeah, I got one. All right, so as she's rotating down, or she's transitioning, go back, and we'll kind of pause it. All right, good. So once this play starts to dribble away, okay, pause. You're really almost about as deep as you probably want to go, but where's the defense? Here, right? So what are we watching? Because there's no defense on the ball handler, right? So if I'm her, I'm gonna try to get even with the offense, because we know the center is refereeing this, right? So she can get almost even with the ball handler until she gets to the 3-point line, but you don't want to go any lower than that. Because if you get lower than that, then we have 2 C's. But if she pulls up right here and she steps on, you're stacked, right? If she pulls up right there and she stays right there, she's stacked. So the only way to really maintain or get this angle is to be even with her and watch the defender come from the other direction. So if we try to walk that player down, and it's gonna take some time, like I'm probably gonna screw some of you up this weekend saying this, but just try to get where you need to go to see the play. And especially on that mid-3, we want to try to be under, because if you go on, you're gonna be in the way. But don't go totally under them, just be even with them.
And that's on your crew sheet card. Go where you need to go to referee the play.
The mid-3 is it's a bad situation for the trail. And if we get to an inbound, 10-line inbound play, I'll show you where I want you to try to stand because of the plays that they end up running. Go ahead and play it. Let's see how it plays out. All right, go back for a second. I want to look at the lead. Go back to the start. Go back to transition. All right, yeah, it's kind of coming up his third, so he could have probably started out wide, right? I mean, it's right on the window, like maybe go halfway in between. I'm not saying that that's really a spot, but, you know, mirror the ball. Go where you need to go, okay? And here's that. Just go back. So, he's all right. I would probably be like right here. Just so that you can kind of keep the ball in your peripheral, and then you're like 1 to 2 steps to be wide enough to mirror the ball. Okay, go ahead. See, go back. So watch the lead and his little dance, yeah. So if he
You
just
go back to the spot
yeah,
that Nick said he
right. So if he just starts where he probably should have when the ball came up before, moving the ball and just keeping it right in the front of you. If he would have just started right here, he would have never had to move, unless that ball goes out to the corner. Because in college we have the corner. Then he could just open up and take the corner, or take 1 step back and be wide. But he kind of does a 2-step because he's not sure where the ball's actually going to end up. which I'd rather be wide when the ball is on my side anyways, right?
Has anybody heard move with a purpose? So if you look here, so he does the first little crossover step, right, to back up into maybe just where the starting position should have been. And then the ball gets passed, and he does another little step, but wide, right? What was the purpose of that adjustment? And where should we be when the ball is where it is right now?
Close down.
And where's the lead? So we worked ourselves out of position. So we're not moving with the purpose, unless the purpose is to be out of position.
I would almost, I'd have been just a little bit wider because it's on that side. The post play is on your side. And if you get in here and she gets the ball, that play is just gonna explode on you, and you're not gonna have the angle to be able to see that whole play. But if you get some depth on it, and you're actually like back in here, then you can actually see that play a little bit better. You get too close to that play, and you end up putting air in the whistle when you don't really need to. Go back just a little bit and let's watch the center. Here you go. Does a couple little movements, but she's trying to get that angle, right? Like, I hate this offense where it sets up right at the free throw line. Like, we all know, right? You're at center, and it's like, you just want to move them. It's like, okay. But they set up right in your line of sight. So you just got it. I would recommend going one step low rather than going high. Because when this play initially started and she did take those 2 steps, the ball could have potentially gone to these players on the opposite block. And what are we thinking about when he goes to the opposite block?
Curl.
Curl, perfect. So, and as a curl play, we want to take that one step down. As soon as the ball goes into the post on the opposite side as the center, we take one step down so that we can see this look as it curls towards us, right?
So we talk a lot about the positions for lead, where we have close down and wide out, right? Center also has positions. So you have your home, which is your straddling free throw lines, and then you can go low, which is about 1 step below, and then, or you can be high, about 1 step high. Also, go where you go referee to play, but those are gonna be your general positions, okay?
Yeah.
Nick, can you explain what you just said, the curling and where the C would be?
Yeah. Let me finish with one.
Yeah.
First. Well, I forgot. So, so when the ball's here, right, and there's a defender here and here, and they curl this way, now the center has this open look. I don't know if you can see, shadow behind it here, like that, right? So the center can see through there.
In the ball's where it is, and they're like she's.
No.
Just that
So
post.
I was saying, when these players were over here, and you were thinking about a potential curl play, that's why she was trying to kind of get down.
Oh, got it.
If the
Okay.
ball went into that side, you'd be thinking potential
I
curl
see,
play and you
okay.
take that step.
Okay.
Sorry if that's confusing. I was thinking plays forward, so like the next play ahead when there is players on that opposite
Okay,
side,
got it.
and you'll all get to that point, but my mind was going. So, but she was just making those position adjustments because that play could have potentially happened and she had somebody right where she needed to go. Bless you. Back it up because I think the lead runs across the lane here. No, that's just a 2 a.m. So that was actually really good. So that kind of proves my point of being there a little bit quicker because the ball is below the free throw line on the opposite side. You need to get there a little bit quicker. If it's just settled up here, now that's the 2 a.m. one, or the 2 p.m. one. Excuse me. Okay, go back. I love that. Did everybody everybody see the rotation by the lead?
Yes.
So this is the one where it's just like, she stops, because we have to stop, right? So she stops about that long, and then she is across the lane. Because the ball is below the free throw line, where else are they gonna go? They're in coffin corner, the only place they can go is into the lane or kick it back out. So, really, I mean, a cross-court pass, they're rarely gonna do that, right? You teach them not to do that? Good, yeah. All right, so that was awesome. That was probably actually one of the best transition rotations that I've seen, because we don't see that very often where the ball actually goes straight down there and we have players that we need to rotate over.
As the lead, you're the floor general.
Yeah.
You're setting your crew up to be in great position.
Okay.
So how many players are on center side? Everybody just about, right?
Yeah.
You don't wanna leave your center over there forever with everybody, so
Yep.
she expedited her rotation.
Yeah, that was great.
And why did you say you had to stop?
You're just supposed to pause because you want the ball to settle. So you're just supposed to kind of pause just for a second. That's what the manual says, that's why I said it, but.
And the other is, all officials should be in the front
In the
court
front,
before you
right.
rotate. So we can't see the trail, but I'm guessing as soon as that toe crossed over, Jess was gone.
Well, so that goes back to it. My concern sometimes is getting that transition rotation is, am I leaving my poor new C in the backcourt? So I guess there's two things to consider, is how fast can they get down, and what am I leaving behind? If there's all 10 players, then I guess it doesn't really matter, right?
And your trail UC should pick up on that and bust down.
In the mechanics manual, they talk about it's accelerated pace.
Yep.
Right, you take
Yep.
an accelerated pace to get to that.
Yep. Yeah, that was the 2 AM walk that I was talking about.
I love that.
It was,
Worth the book.
yep, good job. And he recognized it right away and just slid right down the center. That was really good. I really like that play. Man, you guys are gonna be tired of this game.
Yeah, we are.